Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And this is City Alpha 3.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to City Alpha 3, a Star Trek podcast here on the Nerd Party Network. I am your host, Daniel Prue, and joining me, as always, are my two animated friends, Darren and Philip. Hey, guys, how's it going? How was your sci-fi week? Philip, are we in Doctor Who territory yet, or what?
60th anniversary of Doctor Who. It's already started some things. All of Doctor Who, all that has ever been available, is now available on iPlayer, which means nothing to you all, but basically you don't have to pay for it other than paying your TV license fee. So, I now have access to all of Doctor Who, on demand, basically.
It's exciting. I'm looking forward to season 1, Philip.
Exactly.
Isn't that going to be great?
And I'm curious what, if anything, is available for y'all on Disney Plus. Because I saw they've rebranded it as the Whoniverse. How when Star Trek, when an episode started, you get the whole flying thing. Now there is Whoniverse.
There's a unified intro title for every episode. That's kind of cool. I do like that Star Trek does that, and that does make sense.
So I'll be curious if anything's dropped on Disney Plus yet, or whether it's going to wait until the end of the month.
Technically, Star Wars does that as well. All of the shows have, and I don't know why it bugs me, but the fact that it's Star Wars left and right, not Star Wars above each other as it should, but whatever. It's just a minor nitpick, but yes.
One thing and it's a bunch of stuff. They released they're called Tales from the TARDIS. These are UK only, so eat it. But basically all of this is they've sort of have taken old classic Doctor Who stories, made it into one thing, so there's no cutoffs of the different episodes.
Okay, because they had kind of 3 or 4 episode arcs right back then, so they kind of are basically making
sometimes,
it so you can hit play and it'll just play all of that at once. That's kind of cool.
And they've added bumpers where they bring in the people. So I was watching one where it was the Fifth Doctor and one of his companions, Tegan, but as they are now. And so they have met in this mysterious place, this TARDIS. And so they'll have a kind of a beginning, then that'll set up to an excuse of why to show this episode. And then at the end, they'll have a end bumper. And so I watched one with the 3 Doctors. And so they have I think 5 of them, off the top of my head, where it's basically these old excuse to watch a classic episode, but they'll have this, we've been brought here for some reason. It'll be all these old people they brought back as their characters. And so that's just a little treat there. And so, and there's actually so much stuff, I'm not even keeping track of it. But of course, it all goes to at the end of the month when the 14th Doctor, as played again by David Tennant, will appear for 3 specials. And then that'll take us, and then next year, 2024, we'll get to the 15th Doctor.
I like how in America be and then he transitions right into next year. Got to wait at least a year. Got to slow this thing down. We're going too fast.
And as Darren remarked, for people who don't know, RTD, the showrunner, Russell T. Davis, has said that I guess the 15th Doctor, I don't know if he meant this one or the next one, but anyway, it will be season 1 is how it will be referred to. Because if you're an old classic nerd, maybe you're still doing it's series 35 or I don't know what it is, whatever. But for New Who, ever since 2005, that's kind of what got reset to series 1. And then that's how most people have been counting it. So this would be 1590 or something like that. But now it's going to start again, according to RTD. And I think it's just all rebranding. You can see why. Going to Disney Plus in America and everywhere else, it's just you can start, if you're new, we want you to be a part of this. And so that's why I think they're starting it season 1.
Even though it is the same people, the same story, same, if you watch the episode before it from season 15 or whatever, it'll lead right into it. Okay, that's bizarre.
But I understand needing to can you imagine if, you're trying to get someone into Doctor Who and you're like, well, we're in series 15 of the, 8th, 20th Doctor. And it's like, so I get that. Now, granted, I think it's funny because a lot of people are chuckling of like, oh, the showrunner has thus decreed it, so we're all going to call it that, right? And it's like, no, I mean, sure, some people will, but I'm sure there definitely will be people who won't.
Well, they may.
There was a built-in numbering system in Doctor Who, like maybe the number of the character that would help, right?
Except,
that wouldn't make it worse.
This is not a Doctor Who podcast, Reels. I really don't like that it's the 14th Doctor because he's only going to be there for 3 seasons or for 3 episodes, 3 specials, and it's like,
oh, they're giving him 2 numbers now, so he has his number from
David
his first run.
He's now the 10th Doctor and the 14th Doctor.
Okay, that's weird.
Yes. So, like, when you're doing posters of the Doctors, he will be on there twice. He is the
Why can't they just have it be the 9th Doctor in a different time? Or the 10th Doctor in a different time? Like, why not?
It's got to be story related. There's got to be
once we added the War Doctor and the decimal points, I think we kind of fell off the rail a little bit.
Well, then we got the whole the first Doctor's not really the first Doctor because there's been a million Doctors before that person, and so so.
I mean, this isn't a Doctor Who podcast, but we have been diving pretty deep.
I know. We've done like 5 hours of Star Wars, so excuse my 5 minutes of Doctor Who. So.
We've talked a lot about Doctor Who over the last several years. What are you talking about?
Speaking of Star Wars, Darren, I don't know what's new.
I'm like, nothing. Ahsoka's over. We don't know when we're getting new Star Wars. I believe things are wrapped in the can. I think Skeleton Crew is done and ready. I think they're literally just waiting on the strikes to end. I don't think anything's going to move forward until that is resolved, which who knows when that's going to be. At the time of this recording, it is not ended. There's not a lot of new Star Wars happening right now.
We wouldn't know what that's like for Star Trek.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But
I was just going to say, I was watching on
There's a lot on deck, but not in coming out.
And I was surprised, and they did Ahsoka because they always parody everything. But like they didn't like it, and I'm like, I'm not a Star Wars fan, and I have not seen Rebels, Clone Wars, so I had no background going into it. But it's like I did not think it was that bad. I liked it. Ahsoka.
Yeah, so, I mean,
I didn't get the hate. I'm like, it wasn't the best thing in the world. Am I going to say? But it wasn't bad at all.
I think there were some great parts in it. I loved the parts they did with Anakin. I think those were really cool, like the kind of pseudo dream parts. But I think it is like season 5 of Rebels, like it kind of is. So there's definitely a part of it you won't fully understand. Not that it's incomprehensible, but Philip, like Doctor Who, like there's 2 layers to any show. There's those that know and those that are new.
Oh, look at that. Put that on a t-shirt.
I
do you think people are watching Star Trek Lower Decks and it's like their first or second Star Trek show? Like, how confused are they?
I can't. I just really can't see it.
I want to find a new Trekkie who their only first show is Lower Decks. Because honestly, I feel like the overall plot, group of Lower Deck ensigns and their dynamic with like the other crew members is a solid story. Like, are all the references going to completely go over their head? Yes. Is that okay? Yes. But I think it does. I'm not saying Lower Decks is unwatchable if you don't know Star Trek, but it's you're definitely going to miss a lot, but that's okay.
For example, when my wife and I watched the episode with the Voyager stuff, and I complained about it when we talked about it, but like it was just, there was just too much. We would have to pause and like each frame to be like, okay, well, here's the cheese thing, and then here's that thing,
if
and this
only
is
this was on demand, and you could watch it at any time on repeat in your home. But since it's first broadcast, if you didn't get your VHS tape out, you're out of luck.
That's how you date yourself in one sentence.
Yes.
But speaking of Lower Decks, we got the season 4? This is season 4, right?
Yep,
season 4
season
finale. Called, I have it pulled up right here, Old Friends, New Planets. Oh, that's right. There was a new planet. And we got to see the conclusion of what turns out to be the Nick Lacarno season, which we were very unaware of.
We didn't even know it was.
He was the big bad the whole time. It was like that episode of Buffy where
I'm
Willow
just
turned
not
evil.
seeing it. I'm
the
just
last
not
two
seeing
episodes.
it.
Like, the whole time she was the bad. Really? Okay.
So just first impressions. What do you guys think of the finale? Do you think it stuck the landing, or was there anything that bothered you about it, or did you like it, or what?
I mean, I still want to see Thomas Riker. I feel like we were robbed Thomas Riker. I know we're still a possibility, but I'm like, come on, guys. I need to see where Thomas Riker is. You put his name up there, and now I'm interested. But no, I think it worked out. I think again, Lower Decks kind of has this tradition of the finale putting Mariner or our crew in a serious situation, and they always rise to the occasion. Like, kind of the funny goes, like, it's still funny, but like the shenanigans go out the door, and it's like, okay, well, I mean, the fact that he's like, oh, announce this for me, and she's like, no, you're crazy, and she grabs the Genesis device and goes running like that. Yeah, that tracks. That's what she would do. But I'm looking forward to season 4, where we explore season 5, where we explore Mariner not wanting to be promoted. Because, gosh,
No, clearly
I don't feel
over.
We've said that before,
they put
Daniel.
a button on it, didn't you?
We've
There's a line
said
of dialogue
that before, Daniel. I don't believe it. But no, I loved Nick Lacarno. He does look a lot like Tom Paris, but I don't really see it.
I knew they were going to call it out.
I knew. We all do. And although it's funny because we were chatting last week about is the actress who played Cito Jackson going to come back, and we're like, apparently so, even though she's retired. But we were also, I remember we were starting to dig into like, how old is Mariner? And we're like, okay, she's a cadet with Wesley, so she's basically on like within a year or two of Wesley. And it's like, oh my gosh, like she is so much older than we expect. I haven't done the math, but it's a lot.
Well, the flashback says 13 years ago, I think is what it said.
It did.
So that means, so I watched The First Duty, which, by the way, fantastic episode. Great episode.
I love Daniel's like, doesn't stand up. No.
That episode takes place I just watched season 4.
You would know, Daniel. You just watched
season 4? Season 4 or season 5. Anyways, doesn't matter. 13 years. I feel like a Nemesis doesn't even take place 13 years within that time frame. Well, maybe it does.
Well, according to Memory Alpha, this episode is in 2368, and the flashback is in... Oh, sorry. I have it reversed. This is in 2381, and the flashback is in 2368. So we just have to find out. If only there was a hyperlink right here in 2368. What happened, ladies and gentlemen, in 2368? This was the Bozeman coming out of the causality loop. Ooh.
Well, I mean, it's all that same all that series.
So, okay, so I just have to look up cause and effect. What season was that? That was season 5, episode 18.
Season 5.
So I'm assuming then we're going to find First Duty is also a season 5 then. That would make sense.
So she is as old as Wesley.
Probably a year younger. Because she was
whatever. Right.
Year 2 younger.
Which is still close.
Yeah.
She's
my age. Beckett is my age, is what we're saying.
Having watched The First Duty and watching that flashback scene again, I knew something was off, but it doesn't include everyone. It shows Nick Lacarno, it shows Wesley.
No, they're all there. I saw a post on this, and the fifth member was there in the wide shot, like saying bye and walking off. But they were all accounted for in that episode, in the Lower Decks episode.
I'm pulling up the scene right now because This is fascinating.
For the tight shot, it was just the three guys.
Right.
Oh, okay. There is a woman that waves and then runs off.
Yeah, that's meant to be the fifth.
I mean, you don't have to give her any lines.
She opens her mouth like, "Hey, how you doing?" Sorry. Like her comm badge chirps, and she just has to leave.
Okay, fine, that's fair, I guess.
I only am saying that because I happened to read an article that said
Boothby turns in the leaf blower right when she starts talking.
Sonic leaf blower, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Sonic leaf blower, dude.
So anyways, this is a very Mariner heavy episode. In fact, I was thinking about it. Boimler basically does his captain thing, and that's it. He's
acting.
He's kind of, maybe he was just busy doing something else, but he's Superman now, so he's got lots going on. And he's in The Boys. But what do you think, Philip? What do you think of the episode?
I really liked it. I think that Lower Decks, it kind of reminds me of Orville in a way, where the storytelling has really gotten elevated. I mean, because like as Darren said, this is like a serious episode, but not just like, it's serious, but like the look. It's very an overused word, but I'm going to use it. It was a very epic episode. I mean, just like the Star Trek 2, the James Horner, creating that whole bit. I mean, just like that 5 minutes. Oh yeah,
the Mutadu Nebula fight, basically. Just the part 2.
The lightning. Oh, it's just beautiful.
Part 2, or was it just kind of a riff?
Well, and a lot of people who, I remember when it came out in, I think it was First Contact. Was it Steam Runner class?
Oh yeah.
Like, there's a group of Trek fans that they love that class. Like, that is there, and so they were probably losing their minds.
Have we seen that ship before? I don't remember.
Yeah,
we did.
First Contact.
It was First Contact. It was that fight. One and the
Saber class.
Saber class were the two new ships that came in.
But no,
you need to watch First Contact again, Daniel.
Any excuse.
Or that 5 seconds of Darren's favorite part where Picard waits 5 seconds. So
I was going to say that's the part I'm thinking of. If you say 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And now what? And now fire! We've been waiting.
But yeah, no, yeah, it was good. And though I posted on our group chat that was the network, I didn't know how to feel at the end because I'm fairly aware of Star Trek news and nothing had been announced, but to sort of have at the end, like the B plot seemed not bad but odd, because I'm trying to in my head, how far are we in this episode and they're still bargaining to get a ship, because I'm like, how far can this storyline go, because it has to
it was a longer episode though. It was much longer.
I wasn't looking at the tracking, but
it was 30 minutes. Look at that.
Yeah, it was definitely longer.
But then at the end when Tendi leaves, and so then I'm like, is she gone? Or is I don't know how to feel. This is just of course she'll be back in episode 1, or is she gone? I need to know that before I know how to feel about this ending.
It is super weird. It felt super weird. It felt like, why do this even? What's the point? And also, I was frustrated because they clearly broke the arrangement, so she's not bound. It's they gave him a broken ship. That's not what they bartered for. So she's definitely not bound to She was like, I have to do this. I'm like, wait a minute, why do you? What is this? I just feel like it's they didn't have.
She's got some sort of plan, because at the very, very, very end when she's like, okay, let's do this. It's okay, you have some plan,
right?
You want to be here.
But that's not set up anytime.
Yeah,
we don't.
True.
True. We had a whole episode.
The character knows it. We don't know it. Yeah.
Right. And we had, and if they set it up in that episode where they went to the planet, and we learned all about Tendi, then maybe they could have set something up, she has to reclaim her throne at some point, or something. Whatever it is that whatever it is that the story thread is. Because at this point, it's this is why are we doing this? And why does she have to leave? I don't understand. But even the characters say, "Oh, she'll be back. She likes Starfleet too much, so she'll come back soon."
Well, from a character standpoint, and not that I don't think I trust the writers, because Lower Decks is pretty good. I mean, because for what it is, it's short episodes. It's a low expectation, but they usually go higher than you think. But there's no more. I don't know the character I want. What is Rutherford's I want? What does he want out of life? other than
He's a pretty happy dude.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he has no goal. And then, like, what's
true.
Tendy's I want?
Well, to stick on Rutherford for a moment, in the past 3 seasons, it was I wanted to get my memory back. I wanted to get promoted with my friends. It was I wanted to make Badgie. So yeah, he's had a lot of goals. But I agree with you, Philip. Like, I don't know what his goal is right now.
Yes, you do. You know what it is. It's to get rid of that other engineer. He doesn't want that other guy.
Okay, that's like C plot.
I do declare that
I was thinking that too.
Speaking of Badgie, did you notice that Goodgie or whichever was it Goodgie? He's like hanging out in Cerritos now. Okay, I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah, I did see that. Because I mean, like we've solved. You can always create new ones, but we've solved Boimler because he got promoted finally, and he also kind of got over being a lieutenant. We've solved Beckett's not wanting to get promoted. And so, I mean, they can have new ones, but we've solved those 2 folks. But like these other 2, like, and again, I know not everyone may or may not be a fan of a romance storyline, but like that's something at least with Rutherford and Tendy. And so, like, I wasn't expecting to make a meal out of it at the end, but I'm like, are they going to like, is, Tendy going to confess or Rutherford going to confess or create something? And like that wasn't really even touched on. I mean, that could even create some like a drop in, of tension or conflict at the end of like, oh, Rutherford's heartbroken or Tendy, but
that's a good point because she left, like she did leave, and I'm thinking like, yeah, it's like they did kind of overshadow it with like, oh yeah, she'll be back, she loves it, and I'm like, why does it feel like we should have done the walking down the corridor with everybody on left, right side? Like, that's kind of this moment, but it was more just like, oh, she's on extended leave for personal matters. It's like, okay.
I wonder, here's the thing. I think Lower Decks does this every year. Like, remember last year they felt they arrested the captain, and that lasted like 3 scenes. And I feel like maybe that's just like a legacy thing where they feel like they have to put a hook at the end for some reason, and they just threw this in there. I just feel like, what if they didn't? And like the ending of this episode was just everybody was happy. Mariner comes back, she's a hero, and they all have their Lower Decks chant. And then it's just a happy ending. Like, why didn't they just do that?
Is it literally for Paramount to be like, if we put a hook, Paramount has to bring us back another season, but if we have no hook, they'll be like, that's good. I feel satisfied, and we're done.
Yeah, I don't think
because it was a good Mariner episode. Like the and then like you could feel triumphant at the end, and I don't know. It feels like they just didn't know where else to throw like a wrench into it. But why not just have it end happy, and then you just go right into season 5 if and when that happens. I don't know. But anyways, what else? What else do we? Well, yeah. So we got the return of. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say I did love Boimler's, which is not true. I saw Insurrection. People can't pretend it doesn't exist. But he's like, I've never seen anyone use their captain's yacht before. Because I actually didn't know where the captain was. Because I dumbly, but in a good way, good storytelling, I thought she was in the warship. And then when the warships explodes, I'm like, where is she?
Yeah, I was confused too. I'm like, what's going on? Also weird that Boimler was the highest ranking. But it's fine. Like, it was just for effect.
Small universe.
Yeah, that's fine. So we get the return of obviously we talked about it last week, of course, Nick Lacarno, but
I think Boimler was in the center chair just because Carol was like, who's the craziest person that he would not expect to be in the center chair when he calls in, Mr. Boimler, come sit over here. And he's like, is this I feel honored, but also insulted.
It's like Star Trek V when Chekhov was captain of the Enterprise.
Yeah. Admiral. But you're saying Nick Lacarno.
Back to Nick. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah. We now have the tragic end of his story, but he got a planet named after him because it was made out of him. So
he can still come back.
Here's the thing. This is the problem I have with a lot of. He could what? Well, I mentioned that. I'm like, this is how Spock came back to my wife, and she's like, what? And I'm like, don't worry about it. Don't think about it. But
to be fair, Spock landed in a torpedo on the planet. He didn't blow up to become the planet. Slight difference.
It doesn't really still make any sense, but that's fine. We'll we'll just ignore it.
Doesn't this planet look a lot like Tom Paris?
I don't see it. But this is the problem I have with these ginormous universe-ending, in this case, planet-destroying weapons. You can't put that genie back in the bottle, so now the Ferengi just have them, kind of. It's a plot point, but it becomes significant because you can't deactivate the bomb unless you have 2 strips of Latin.
That was funny.
This thing has a paywall.
So as you pointed out, Philip, we get the whole nebula scene and the music and a very, I think homage is too light of a word.
No, they went for it.
It's shot for shot, maybe in a lot of cases. You guys liked all that stuff, I assume.
Well, it was because they did it, and I saw what they were doing. I'm like, oh, they're going to do it, but then they did it because there's just, and it's going to sound stupid, but we're all Star Trek nerds. There was the sound, the lightning effect is really how I knew they were going for it. When it gets struck by lightning, I'm like, this is I'm not saying I've memorized Star Trek 2, but you're doing all of it in the and then the way they were moving.
When the nebula was changing at the end, I'm like, oh, and then we're going to get that what expands, but then there's that fade in of the rings.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's going to fade in on the ring. And it does, again, they obviously just said, okay, here's a copy of Star Trek 2, shot for shot, recreate this, please. Which is not bad. I'm just saying that's what they did.
Yeah.
I do want to talk through Nick Lacarno's plan and capabilities. Because I am not sure. When was it ever made clear? Did he go around inciting these mutinies? Is that the impression that we're supposed to get, or
it was a broad brush, which they didn't spend. In other words, the broad brush is, hey, lower decks of non-Federation worlds, no more captains. Let's all rise up and be cool. I mean, that's about as much as they went into it. So, to answer your question, that was it. They were just we're getting rid of the command group. And all the lower decks have now joined me because all lower decks want to do that. That was about as broad as they went with it.
Right, but I'm just saying, from the beginning of the season, when we saw the ship and all of these mutinies were going on, this had happened before. We saw him plead to the wider universe in this episode, but he had obviously gone to these ships, I guess, or to these. That's why I'm saying, I don't understand how this happened, or
he zapped the ship. And when he zapped the ship, he then transported all the command staff to a planet and then told the lower deckers, you're free. And then they got to run their own ship as a anarcho-communist collective that meets every other weekend.
So, but the only thing is, I'm not sure, like you were saying, Daniel, if the lower deckers of those ships were already in on it. Because there is a line when we're with the command crew on the fighting planet, and they say oh yeah, our lower deck people started to revolt right before we got attacked. And they're like, oh yeah, that happened on all our ships.
Yeah.
So
maybe
what did they call it? The Fifth Fleet, the Free Fleet. So maybe he was recruiting, and then this is how because he doesn't destroy the ships because they have their own ships.
Yeah,
that's what confuses me because
there's a lot of confusion in Nick's plan. I'm just gonna say.
Well, no, I'm saying what they show us, because that's all we can believe, is that in all the beginning episodes, we would always see a chunk of the ship with the symbol, and oh, they destroyed the ship. Well, then why was there a chunk of the ship with the symbol on it? Is that just unless it really is part of his plan? Oh, it'll look like it exploded. But it's then we see all the ships just oh, they're all normal. And I'm like, okay. Man.
Also, where did he get that ship from?
It looks like he built it. He has blueprints and stuff that Mariner saw when she was on it.
But how? Okay. I mean, that's a pretty powerful weapon.
Look, we've seen Nick Lacarno in the holodeck working. Oh, no, I'm thinking of.
That's not.
It's a different.
Yeah.
It's just the big Delta Flyer. Guys, here's the secret. You put the Delta Flyer like this instead of this. It's the same ship.
I guess I just didn't and they didn't, they only introduced him at the last scene of the last episode, so we don't have a lot to go on here.
Yeah.
But I just wish there would have been more explanation. It just seemed like, oh, okay, he has some pretty powerful tools at his disposal. He's obviously pretty convincing to people. He's sort of created this ragtag
Trinar.
Yeah, he can shield an entire system. Like, what the heck is going on here?
Yeah, I think it was just too complex with too little like actual reveal before the 10th episode. Because I was thinking of the other finales, and I'm pretty sure it's the season 2 one where they have to save the. No, that's the season 1 one, I believe. Okay. I'm pretty sure the season 2 one is where the ship is tumbling and they have to take all the parts off.
Oh yeah, they took the hull off.
Take the hull off and capture the Excelsior 2. That one was very much like, the problem is this ship has no power and is going to crash into the planet. And it's between us and this, crazy storm. So our solution is we have to do this and fly fast and get there, which is very simple, very like A plus B equals C. This like obstacle at the end of this season was very, I'm not going to say convoluted, but like there were a lot of pieces to it that we had to kind of fill in our own blanks.
Yeah, and I realized at the end, like it was, and they were kind of clever in a way, but like the whole "we can't shoot at anybody" was like something that what they did kind of set it up a little bit, but I didn't realize it was so important until the end when it was
because they would start a war with whatever,
but not really, right? Because if you just get shot at by 2 Romulans and you shoot back at them, that's not going to start a war. Like that's, but okay, whatever. They set it up and they kind of pay that off, but it was like. Yeah, like we didn't know about the bomb until this episode. And so like when Mariner's there and I'm like, well, I don't understand how this happened. I don't know
I think what's hard with it for me is that I love smart villains that like they don't have to be perfectly right or even win, but thinking ahead and outthinking the good guys for at least a while is really cool. And Nick Lacarno, I don't feel did that at all this entire season. He just, and now, I mean, we barely saw him except for the very end. But I even the core principle of his plan, you see it break down immediately when it's like, if we all just don't have command structures, we can all do what we want. But I want to tell you what to do, and they're all like, "Peace." We didn't sign up for that. And it's like, how did you not see that coming, Nick?
What Nick Lacarno was doing was trying to form a third party. And this is what happens. Because he was saying, look, we're going to be an independent fleet, but it's just made up of all the other fleets. And it does the same structure as everyone else. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, I guess like the idea of lower decks, like rising to power, that's interesting because, of course, we focus on the lower decks on this show, but like I don't know, it just felt too slapped
and the
together
fact
at the
if
end.
That's going to be your ploy is that all the lower decks people, but our characters who are the standard for lower decks are not involved or at least semi-coerced or approached for this plan at all. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because how would you do that? Like you would have to somebody.
And I enjoyed the episode. I don't want to say these are just criticisms.
It's like a cartoon that we are now analyzing.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I agree with you. Like, how would they do that? Like would Tendi like just be naive and like fall on somebody would have to like.
I think it would be interesting if he went after those secondary the other ensigns, like the ones
Beta
we saw.
Shift.
Yeah, like Beta Shift, like one's the cat guy and what are they all?
Vacation.
Yeah. But the point is,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
The ones we saw on the episode where Boimler was trying to do it all himself because he didn't want to. Yeah, he didn't want to hurt them. Those characters, like we've established them enough that we kind of know their names. They're the new lower decks. They're all still ensigns. I think and then it would have been interesting how if he's targeting them. But I mean, I also get why they didn't, because it doesn't make as much sense on a Starfleet ship for ensigns to revolt against their captain. It kind of makes sense on all these alien ships. Like we're able to buy it more, especially the Klingon ships. But yeah,
I feel like Mariner's Cerritos connection well, actually, her connection to all these characters should have come way earlier. That way, you don't have to have this reveal at the end. Like, you could have him and Lacarno and Mariner having conversations throughout this. Like, he could be trying to convince her throughout.
So reveal it's Lacarno way earlier, and then you have this kind of, well, it's kind of, again, Star Trek 2, where like they're communicating by a screen for several episodes, and they finally meet in the last episode.
Yeah, like you don't have to say it's Lacarno, like he's doing these ship things. You could reveal that later, but you could just set up the fact that she knows who he is, and he wants to, like, he has this philosophy or whatever, and he's trying to convince her to act on it. And she's, because she's being frazzled in the way she is, and maybe she thinks about it or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. It all just comes very quick at the end. That's all.
Especially with him. And I get it, like, we gotta go. But, like, with him snatching her and being like, Mariner, you should be with me. Like, we haven't talked in 13 years. And, like, I get that he's kept up with her rebellious record. But I'm like, you don't know this woman.
That's like you go to your 20th high school reunion. And you're like, hey, person that acted this way 20 years ago when we were in high school, you're probably still exactly the same. Let's go do this. And they're like, no, dude, I run a bank now. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah. But I mean, all that to say, I do think it was a good episode. It's just, I just didn't understand what exactly how this happened and what
then his
was going
recruiting
on.
call, like, I love that we got to, like, and I know Darren talked about, like, referencing our own references, but, like, you got to see the Lower Decks universe of, like, I can't remember all the characters, but, like, the Beckett's independent friend, pilot woman, and then you got to see all the, when he's talking.
That's true. That's
everyone joined me, and you got to see, like, Lower Decks people. Like, what was the one where, like, I can't remember the other alien species, but they still had a guy in a towel walking around. But, like, but it was just like, I don't think that's going to work with anyone, because they'll be like some random rando is on the comm saying join him. I'm like, we're good. We're good where we are. Thanks.
Well,
Thanks.
and their whole, like, shield around a system. It's like, so you're going to just chill and rule your own little kingdom in this system, but not trade with any, like, what is this?
I know.
Yeah. What was the ultimate goal? Why did he have the bomb? Was it just deterrent?
It was a deterrent.
Okay. Because, like,
for
what
Nova
was
Fleet.
his goal?
Nova Fleet.
Build a fleet and do what?
Just hang out, fleet.
Hang out and be equals? Like,
it was a third party. The other fleets are corrupt and all the same. Join Nova Fleet, and we'll show you a new way. That was his pitch.
But it's not like it's not like a philosophy. Like he's trying to build this, because he could just go around and talk to people and convince them. He's kidnapping people, right? I mean, he's
liberating
stealing ships.
He's liberating.
Again, I can, and I know I sound critical, but I really am not. I feel like they're talking around the writer's room, and they're like, okay, we're bringing back Nick Lacarno. Like, what's his goal? Well, what if he's just, the ultimate lower decker, and he wants, the free Navy to be able to do whatever they want. And I feel like that idea needed a couple more passes of, like, what does he actually want? Because I don't feel, I mean, they hinge his whole personality on the Nova Starbirds, like, it going bad, and he literally gets, like, Peter Pan stuck in in school and doesn't mature or grow over the next 20 years. And I'm like, okay, that's a direction to take him. Honestly, I still think it would have been great if we had seen Thomas Riker. Thomas Riker had a better arc post TNG than Nick Lacarno did. I loved his episode in was it just the Defiant?
Defiant.
Yeah. Defiant. In DS9. That was great. I would have loved to see where he was going.
You could, here's the thing. I don't want them to turn Thomas Riker into a villain and then kill him.
No, I don't want that. I want to see him.
Redemption for Thomas Riker. That's what I want. All right, let's think. Is there anything else from the episode that we should talk about?
I'm just saying Thomas Riker needs to love, like, rap, like anything but jazz. Like, he's got posters on his cell wall, and
I'm just scrubbing through the episode. Nothing else, just a bunch of the Tendi stuff and then the space battle. Okay, yeah. So that's it for season 4 of Lower Decks.
Now they have announced that they are doing a season 5, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they
So,
have,
what
right?
do
I'm not
we
making that up. I'm not just like feel like it's
No, I'm pretty sure they have.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Which is, I mean, it's kind of weird. I mean, but I feel like that was a little bit ago, which is why it's got weird when McMahon was like, "We don't know what's going to happen." I'm like, I think.
I feel like that's more like the unstable nature of television production right now. So,
don't see 4th season release when a 5th season was ordered in March 2023. So
okay,
yeah.
So a couple months ago.
Yep. So
because
which means we're going to get it in like 2025.
yeah, maybe at this point. Who knows?
Well, I mean, we did. I mean, and again, strikes. Even if everything had been working in pre-production, like people had announced, and they're probably not a bunch of liars, but the strike obviously messed things up. But like, so I mean, this is no new Star Trek, and then Discovery will start X 2024,
right? Which we don't know when. Yeah.
But then after that, I mean, there ain't nothing left in the. I mean, Strange New Worlds? Question mark. I mean, it will be coming.
Picard is done.
Done.
Well, Prodigy, we've got the second season.
Paramount. I mean, I'm not saying we can't count it, but sorry. But yes, you are right, Daniel. Yeah.
So we do have a couple things in the can, but we're definitely going to go into a lull period compared to this sort of feast that we've been having for the past 5 years or so since Discovery came out. So, but let's talk briefly about season 5. Do you guys have any hopes, dreams? I know, Philip, you were just mentioning that there's not a lot of character development stuff left, a lot of motivation, but is there anything specific you guys are hoping to see?
There's plenty left. I'm just saying they haven't laid it out for us yet. I'm confident they will, but it's sort of like assume that they wrote this assuming they didn't have another season. Like,
it kind of feels like that. Like
it'd be left going like Rutherford and Tindy really didn't have a foe. Like you could say like Boimler got promoted and then Beckett got over her thing, and then there's 2 other characters. And T'Lyn was like, F the Vulcans. And which is
that's an arc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with T'Lyn, I felt like there was that one line in the very end of the episode where she's like, "Oh yeah, I got a call from my, former captain. I let it go to voicemail. I'm going to stay here." And we're like, "Oh, that answers a question I forgot I had." Sure. Sorry, Phil. I was interrupting.
No, you're fine. The last thing I'll say is that it did confuse me. And it's probably just me not paying attention because like Captain Freeman got a message and it was like, "Oh, this is about Lieutenant blah blah," and I missed it because I thought like, "Oh, well, obviously the Tindy deal's still out there. I mean, they're parting, but Tindy's leaving, right?" And then when Captain Freeman walked up, I thought she was going to then talk to T'Lyn and be like, "Oh, T'Lyn's leaving." Oh,
yeah, they did, but it was about Tindy.
Yeah, it was then. That was the fake out because, like you said, it was just 5 seconds of like T'Lyn going, "Oh, never mind," and then okay.
That's right. Yeah. For me, I agree. I like. It's so funny. I think I like the Tindy the Tindy Rutherford relationship, but I also have seen enough television to know that when you change the dynamic of a character relationship, like for good, you can't really go back. Or if you do, it doesn't really work. And I'm not saying it won't work, but it's like you gotta commit and go for it. Yeah, I just want Lower Decks to just keep doing what it's doing, keep doing the deep cuts, keep like honestly, if we're gonna have another relationship episode with Tendi and Rutherford talking about, well, like, yeah, sure, 2 Starfleet officers could be in a relationship. Let's look it up. Oh, well, yeah, look, Captain Picard was totally, connected with this. And, he ordered her into the fire store. Oh, that didn't go,
Let's
for
look
those
at Worf
cuts.
and Dax. I'm sure they're a happy ending, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Worf almost got a letter.
Gosh. Can we make it so like Mariner attended the wedding, but not like the TNG crew or something crazy.
Yeah, I thought it was always super weird you didn't invite them.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be fun. Then you could get Terry Farrell back to do some a voice.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Comes back
You
as
know what I do? I think they've done the cutesy. I think Lower Decks could put them in a relationship without it changing the dynamic of the relationship already, because
totally.
I
it's
think
already
they need
flirty and cutesy and silly and fun. So don't make it serious. Just
no. I think the hurdle we need to get over is them both realizing, accepting, and knowing that the other person knows that they have feelings for each other.
Yeah.
Like that we have not gotten over yet.
Well,
and once
after 5 years, you would think.
After 5 years, yeah.
You would think they should be able to do that.
But
Well, I think the problem is the way it's animated, and up to now, we're all assuming, or had been assuming, that these are all kids. I mean, even if they're 20s, they're kids. And so they're still going to be awkward, and that's fine, and whatever.
Right.
Even when you're 20s, you still act like that. But, like, now that Beckett's 40, I don't know how old these people are, you know?
Right.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just weird. But, I really like this season. I don't know how I'd rank it, but
I need to go back and do a rewatch, because there's like Caves, was a funny episode. Like there's a lot of good funny episodes in this one.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was good.
Well, I mean, it's everyone's taste, and that's fine. But it's like they certainly calmed down from season 1, both in speed of jokes and in what's the word I'm looking for?
Depth of cut.
Well, more of like because I don't want to be a killjoy, but like, how far they went with some of the jokes. Like, I don't need to see, like, yeah. So, I mean, again, that's a taste thing. Some people
the Mangantu like to watch.
Exactly.
And you're like, okay.
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
And then the horn.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a little.
There's still elements of that stuff.
But you're right, Philip. They have calmed down. Yeah. I would also like to see, and they've done it occasionally, and I think they've done it at the right amount. I just want more of it still, is exploring the upper deckers. I love like that whole episode we have about Billups and his like pseudo medieval planet. Like that was fun. That was a fun episode. Like I want to see a lot more of oh gosh, what's his name? The Temerian.
Yeah.
Like
he had one line.
I feel like we brought
pearls.
Like they did nothing with him this season. Like I want us to visit his colony of Temerian somewhere.
Sure, that'd be fun.
And Boimler's got this like super translator iPad that's basically all memes, for Temerians or he's trying to explain like meme culture to a Temerian or something. It just doesn't work.
Question. And again, not to take these things seriously, but okay. So he's in Starfleet, obviously. So is he like Starfleet? Because we just met the Temerians. I say just 12 years ago. I'm trying to remember.
It was a while ago.
Well, I say that, but in other words, are they Federation members?
Well, but Nog is in Starfleet, and Ferengi aren't Federation.
That guy? Who sponsored him?
Yeah, someone to.
I think we all know who sponsored the Temerian. I'm just saying, if it wasn't Picard, I'd be highly surprised.
Well, the only Temerian he ever knew died, so
right. But he's the only one who's had interactions with
Riker. Riker talked first officer to first officer.
That's true.
Okay, maybe it's the first officer's son or something.
Okay, there you go.
But you know what? We could learn that in Lower Decks. They could show us. But
you mentioned the upper deckers, which is a silly way to say it. But,
that should be a title of the episode. It should be Lower Deck should be episode Upper Deckers, because it's just so ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean, it works. You know what I mean when I say it. That's all that matters.
I want a whole Ransom episode. I love Ransom.
I was going to say he was not in this episode at all. Really, I think he had like a line or two. But
yeah, not much for sure. But
for Caves, the Doctor. That was the most lines she has ever had in an episode. She's only does one-liners. I've never seen 3 sentences in a row from I forget her name. But anyway, so that's how much I know her. But yeah, that was like most like she's an actual character, not just I come in for a one line and then leave.
What was the episode where?
When they established she has a she has a relationship with Shax, like full on, which is cool. Like,
what was the episode where we find out that Caitians used to eat the other?
Oh yeah, what does she eat?
Betazoids.
Betazoids.
That's what it was.
Yeah. It's like, what? Well, it also, like, if we're talking about loose threads, wasn't there like a shot of the clone or Boimler, like Section 31? And we haven't touched that since that moment. Like, that is in the deep.
And speaking of doctors who don't normally get very many screen time, this episode we got to see the therapist. He had a ritual combat battle, and
Dr. Miglimo, what?
I love the setup there, because you think that
there's a reason, but yeah,
and then he still loses anyways.
That was the thing. I mean, and it's funny, but like I almost didn't catch it, because it's like, oh, he did the thing, but then like one. I'm like, wait, but he did the thing. What? We're not counting that? Okay.
Well, the guy fell on, or the big lady fell on.
But then Tindy looks stupid then. She should have chose the big guy. Anyway, I don't know.
Who should she have chosen? Shax?
They said isn't that just a female Shax? And I thought, what?
All right. So that is it for Lower Decks. We just obviously talked about what we have upcoming, but we don't really know when. Yeah. So
I'd say overall, the thing I love most about Lower Decks is that, I mean, we have 40 episodes of this show, but we have learned a lot, not just about our 4 characters, but about all of the tangential characters, this time period in Star Trek and the Federation, like, and all in like a 22-minute episode. Like, the number of minutes of information they've given us is, so Lower Decks is, I think it's a great show. I think it's totally worth it.
And I feel weird saying this, but I think it's true. I think they could teach the other Star Trek shows. In other words, they had a big bad. They had a big finale.
Yeah.
And they dripped it, but it did not overtake the season.
But it didn't Spock shuttle it. It wasn't annoying that we didn't know anything till the 11th hour.
I do think that they should have sprinkled it a little, like we mentioned before.
Well, that is true. That is true.
But it wasn't. But like Phillips was saying, it didn't take away from the rest of the other stuff. Like, that's the problem. Like, especially with Discovery, where it's like it's so hyper focused on one thing that it doesn't give you any other time to breathe on anything else.
And it handled the mystery really well, because that's what it was. It was a mystery. It was, we don't know. The characters don't know. Nobody knows, like, what is the ship and what's going on. Whereas I think of, like, in some episodes or seasons of Discovery, where it's like, there's an unknown entity and we don't know and the characters don't know. And you just get frustrated because nobody knows anything and no one's learning anything. I don't know how they did it differently in this season, but it worked a lot better.
And then I think, now that I think about it, the arc, if you want to call it that, is actually pretty heavy compared to other seasons of Lower Decks. Because, I mean, if you think about it, we had the go to the alien, or go to the fight planet, and then go to basically the last 2 episodes. But they always had pretty good B stories. Like, not everyone was 100% focused on the arc. It's like we could still manage the arc and still have other fun stuff, going on.
Yeah. So good stuff. We always like Lower Decks. So another good season in the can, and looking forward to next season as well. But we are going into a bit of a dry spell here, guys. So we're gonna have to start talking about some classic Star Trek,
especially for y'all, because you're not watching Discovery. So what are y'all going to be doing?
That's true. That's true. We
don't even know. We don't even know when that's coming out, right? Yeah. I mean, we don't have a set
2024 question mark.
Yeah.
I mean, I figure it'll be soon. I mean, I say soon, like February, March, April.
Sure.
Yeah, but it's not going to be like
that's
November.
That's still months and months without new Star Trek, which is.
Look, here's a dumb question. This is a dumb question. They can still show a show, even though there's the SAG strike.
Like a show?
Well, yes, because the people who own the show are the producers, and so they are allowed to show it. It's just the actors aren't allowed to talk about it because they're the ones striking.
Yeah, so they can't do any promotion. I guess that would be our only.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's a big
They don't
question mark.
care. I mean, I say that, it's like, an infamous example was when they had the Discovery crew come to the UK, and then the next day was like, oh yeah, Discovery's not come to the UK next season. So I was like, okay, well, F y'all, I guess.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that. And we're like, oh, thanks for nothing.
Wasting our time, yeah.
Well,
Hey, you move there, Philip. That's all I'm saying.
no matter what happens, we'll get to check out all Star Trek on the Home for Star Trek Paramount Plus. Oh, wait.
Oh.
I don't think animated series is still on there for us. I think it is for you, but not for us.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll have to check.
Well, you moved there, Philip. All right. Well, that is it for this week. Philip, if people want to get a hold of you and find out who your Nick Lacarno is, how would they find you?
They can see what I look like on Instagram at CAPTSFUFP.
And Darren, if people needed to, for whatever reason, 2 strips of Latinum that they could borrow from you, how would they get a hold of you?
Look, I always keep it in my Latinum belt, just like a little change belt there with slips, strips, and bars. They can find me at drsci-fi.com, DRSCIFI.
People can find me at One of Dan. That's the number 1, not the word. All right. That's it for this week. I'm Daniel Prue.
I'm Philip Gelfus.
And I'm Darren Moser.
Stranded here on SETI Alpha 3.